ahead and move on to the bouncing ball, the orange bouncing ball, which is the National Basketball Association.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just jump right into the dubs, who aren't getting tons of those these days. But we'll just jump right in. Not a whole lot to talk about necessarily. Still early on in the season in terms of like across the NBA.
Yeah, we got the NBA Cup coming down. We got the New York Knicks going against the Magic. That's an exciting one to watch. So we got San Antonio, OKC.
Right.
Another good matchup right there. And then I think we got the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors as the last one. So, hey, we'll see how it goes.
Right.
See how it goes.
All teams that I could see really wanting to win this time.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
The ones who are still in it, you can see they're like, yeah, we need a trophy.
That'd be awesome, guys.
Right. And the little couple bands will go to the club or something. All right. So I'll let Mitch start it off. I feel like I've been doing a lot of yappadoodle doing. I know you have a little bit ready to go. So just, take us away.
Golden State sitting at 13-12, just had back-to-back wins against the Cavs and the Bulls.
Shocking.
So that was very nice. But the season's kind of going how I feel like I said before, is just like nice little up and down roller coaster the whole entire season. We'll have a string of 3-4 wins, then we'll have a string of 3-4 losses. 3-4 wins, 3-4 losses. And that seems to be how it's been going throughout the season so far. And it just leaves us to wonder, what are we going to do with Jonathan Kuminga moving forward? Because clearly how we are constructed currently, we don't play him. And we don't have a team that can probably stand with a team like OKC, which seems to be the team that is over and above everybody, treating the league like we did back in the day when we were 24-1 to start this, same as them, right? 24-1 to start the season, just like them. So it's looking tough, and it's really caught me by surprise, man. It's crazy to see that OKC is really dominating like this, because I think on any given night you would think that a lot of these teams would have a chance, but they're really blowing teams out. And the only game they lost was to Portland, and it was by 2.
Right.
And
Portland's played them
well overtime, too. I think.
Yeah, Portland's played them well, weirdly, multiple times this season. Which is like, what the hell?
But it hasn't been nice to see how the guys have been playing this season in terms of how many games. All of our guys have just kind of been
on and off
the whole entire season.
Pretty much matches the record almost.
Yeah. I mean, DeAnthony Melton randomly has finally gotten 2 games in there now. But Steph at 16 games. Jimmy Butler 21. I mean, Kuminga is only at 17 games played. Like, I don't know. It's been very up and down. We got Pat Spencer playing well, and then Steve Kerr benching him when he's been showing out.
Right.
Again, Steve Kerr is known for, let me try a million different kind of lineups and that we can throw out there. But I was just looking the other day. I took a picture on my phone, but the starting lineup that we had out there was just like Pat Spencer, Moses Moody, Quentin Post.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, yo, what is going on? It was like Will Richard and
I remember that.
It was just like so gross. I was like,
who has been phenomenal.
Yeah, just Will. Yeah, it's just the lineups that we've been putting out there have just been like, so we clearly don't have anybody else besides Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond. It's so gross watching them. But it would be nice to see Steph out there a little bit more. I know they got their ailments and they're aging, but again, 13-12, no big man in sight besides Quentin Post, and he is more extending to the 3-point line, not really a presence down low. So we really need to figure out what we can get out of Jonathan Kuminga and pull the trigger. Because at this point, if we're not going to give him the time to be somebody relevant on our team, even without our big 3 in, we need to get somebody who's going to make a difference if we want to make the playoffs this season and win a series, at least one. Because right now, we're not consistent enough. We have games where we look great, but we have plenty of games where we'll look great for 3 quarters, or we'll look good for the first quarter or in the third quarter, but then second and fourth, we're losing the quarters 46-22 or something. It's just looking terrible. So too much inconsistency in terms of playing time and the stats that we're getting from players when we are getting them on the court. So I would like to have a little more optimism, but I only think I'm going to have a difference in my mind when we make a move, when and if we make a move before the trade deadline or even maybe before Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go. I mean, I feel like you covered basically everything at this point, and obviously we will be here for the long haul.
Yeah.
So there's going to be time to talk about. Only thing that I will add in is two things. So it's not only thing, literally being redundant when I'm speaking. But I'm going to add in Al Horford has been atrocious.
He's treating us like CP3
dude,
bro.
He just has not been able to fit this system at all. I'm shocked. But also he has the same thing LeBron has, which is, to be honest, it's got to be something when you're touching 40, where this is happening.
Sciatica?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
and
no joke.
This is lingering. This stuff is like never getting back to 100. It's always you trying to get to like 80. That's crazy. So he looks like it out there. I mean, like us asking him to be in certain places, pick and rolling, it looks like he's dying, trying to just get through some quarters. And then by the time he's shooting a shot, he has nothing but a finger to throw it up there with. I mean, his forearms are tired. And so it's just, that to me has been a shocker because I expected a lot more relief. And with him just giving none, it has literally made it to where, like Quentin Post, Draymond Green, these guys, we're just right back to last season, basically. Jonathan Kuminga being at the third string power forward and nothing else, or fourth string small forward.
Joke, bro.
We gotta get him done, get him out of there. And then, the way I really feel is you got to package him and Brandon. Like Will Richard to me is the starter, and he's our future two guard.
So mad, man.
And I've been calling Will Richard out forever. Like I've been telling y'all, that dude is a freaking steal. I literally think he could be fringe all-star at the best. Like if he ascends to where he could be in his career with us, I totally believe in the way that he fits this system. And I thought truthfully that Moses Moody would be able to do a lot defensively the way Will Richard has stepped in and been able to do that. And I knew Will Richard was that. I watched a ton of him at Florida. I was just a huge fan of the way this kid won. Just a winner. And he's really brought that over here. And then I think Melton is just amazing. Like if we're able to keep this guy healthy, to me, that's our backup too.
Yeah.
And our fringe support at the one. Right. And so like I don't even need Pods.
No.
And if we're looking at Kuminga and we really want to sweeten this up and try to get something back, I think you combine the two, right? And you might throw some picks in there and you go see what you can get.
I've been saying that for the longest.
Because like I really don't mind Pods. I just think with the ascension of Will Richard, it just doesn't make sense. Because Pods to me, when he's on, he's amazing. And like if the right team is gonna get him, like if you look at his stats across the board, what he puts up shooting wise,
please,
it's phenomenal. Like it is phenomenal. And if you look at a lot of other shooting splits for other players, like we don't really have a better. Like his free throws are not the greatest, but we don't really have a better combo between a guy that can shoot twos and threes than Podziemski, right? Other than Stephen Curry.
But that's also saying something about the team as it's currently constructed too.
I mean, kind of, but his clips across the NBA are really good. Like there's a reason that he's been looked at. Like people aren't like looking at him highly for no reason. Like his clips are amazing. I just think the way that it works for us is that he's not a true ball handler. And we want him to do that way too much. And there's going to be a team out there that's going to allow him to be a secondary ball handler and be a shooter and be a guy that can be a defense. Like he leads the league in charges every year. Like he will be a glue guy for somebody's team. I could see him honestly going to a team like the Thunder and being phenomenal and being like a get rid of Caruso. Who cares? And you add a Pods in there and he gets that 28 minutes. I could see him being just phenomenal in a role like that. I just think for us, we are asking too many players to play out of their natural role. And I just think that it now has gotten to a point where you're damaging goods. Like I am super high on both Kuminga and Pods. I'm just sick and tired of the way they look within our offense. And I'm sick and tired of the fact that nobody's acknowledging how unique our offense is. And what we're asking is crazy, right? And there are 90% of other teams are going to look at these guys and go, well, we're not asking him to do nowhere near what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking him to try out an entire new way of balling. And all we're going to do is say, get up and down the court. Get up and down the court. We're not asking you to guard a 4. We're not asking you to, you know what I'm saying? You can guard your position, and we're not going to ask you for huge stretches of the game to run point when you didn't even do that in college.
So this is a random one that just came to my mind because I randomly was dropped in a fantasy league that I was playing in.
Mm-hmm.
But would you be fine with if we traded Brandon Podziemski and Kuminga and got Zach LaVine?
I mean, I don't know if the money works, so that would be very weird because Zach LaVine is on such a gross contract. So I don't think that would even work. But if it theoretically, I mean, we'd have to add in, I think like maybe if we added in like a Buddy Hield, we could.
Sure.
So like,
and is there another name out there that you could think
that
of?
I could think of that would be nice? Zach LaVine, I'm not a fan of him. And I don't know. Like, I get what he would bring to the team. Personally, he's one of those guys that I would love to see him put up some winning stats before we got him. And obviously, he doesn't have time in his career to do that.
I just think he does what we're asking Brandon Podziemski to do. Just like he handles it better. And to your point, like I don't even think he wants to be the main guy. I think he just wants to go out there and ball all the time. And so I think he can score way better than either one of those two. Maybe not give you the other stats like crazy well, but in terms of what do we need out there a lot of the times? Like you said, Brandon Podziemski is like our best shooter besides Steph. Well, I think Zach LaVine's a way better shooter than Brandon Podziemski. Mm-hmm. So if we got a guy that we know is going to give us like 25 every game, even with Steph Curry out, it's like that's kind of what we need more than we need Podziemski to give fucking screens and take charges. Like now you can do that, Will Richard, you know.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
You know, he's definitely not as heady on, at least with the like glue plays, but he's definitely, I think Will Richard is a better overall perimeter defender than Podziemski.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And really also the sad story in terms of the shooting to me lies with Moses Moody. Like his clips are not where they should be. And he still to me looks like one of the better pure shooters. Like when you look at how he's playing, there's no doubt he's a shooter.
40% from the field, from the 3-point line.
40?
Or 39.2.
So he's having a career. I mean, that is about as good as you can ask. I think Pods is at somewhere like 39 too. So Moses might be our best actual
both of them,
2 yeah, exactly. So like they're both shooting very well, league percentage wise. I just think Moses Moody's literally like the way I saw Moses Moody was like a 1.5 steals a game guy and shooting 42% from the 3. Like giving me like the upper echelon of what the guys who shoot threes, you know what I mean? And but that's neither here nor there. And I still think he could get there. But let's get rid of some of these guys so that these guys are forced to get shots. But a name for me that I'll just put out there that I would really want to see us get, which I think would be hard and we'd have to throw in some picks, is Trey Murphy III. Like get the Pelicans are garbage. They have 1,000 wings.
Yeah.
Go get them. That's a guy we passed up on draft day who I thought was really good in college, and I didn't know really how his game was going to transfer because he wasn't one of these freshmen. So it didn't, he wasn't coming out hella old. I think he was still like a sophomore or junior, but I just didn't know. And it really has been everything and more, and I just think he fits our team to a T. And we get a guy like that who can put up dub, shoot a 40-plus clip, and is playing defense and gives us some size. Doesn't slow us down mobility-wise. I would love that. I think it was going to cost us a lot, though.
Yeah.
Last thing before we move on, like he said, OKC are absolutely rolling. We can just give a yes or no so it doesn't take too long. Are the OKC Thunder going to get a better record by the end of this season than the Warriors? And the Warriors' record was 73-9.
I mean, the way they've been playing compared to the rest of the league, it doesn't really seem like anybody's got a chance out there. They got so much depth that on any given night, even if one of their stars is out of there, they can still figure it out. Jalen Williams came back, and it seems like it's been seamless. He's been doing great ever since he's been playing. And I don't know, bro. Like, yeah, they might mess around and only have like 7 losses at the end of the season.
Yeah. I personally believe they won't. But I just think it comes down to, do they want to?
Right.
Do they want to? And I think that they could, but I really, what it really comes down to me is that Warriors team, I think, lost that championship in part to how hard they went in the regular season. And I personally believe that all those Draymond things that were happening towards the end, bro, he was fried, bro. Mm-hmm. He was making some of the worst decisions we've ever seen from him, and that's saying something. Mm-hmm. And I really believe the attention that we gave to that season, mind you, this was without KD. So this was before we were truly head and shoulders ahead of the league. I feel like it zapped us. Mm-hmm. And I think if they could have it back, I think they might have different answers amongst the core. But I think the majority of those true winners would say we'd be fine going, having 15 losses, right? 13 losses, still being very, very good, not getting close to that final record, right, of whatever. I think it was 10 losses or 11 losses. And having the energy and the right kind of team management to be feeling like we're going in here refreshed. We're not coming off of the run of our lives, right? And I just don't think that in this modern NBA with so much resting that could you really see a team at this point when they're actually cleared and playoff bound caring?
So I would say the difference between the Warriors 73-9 season and this season for OKC is when we were playing, it always did seem like, the Cavs are damn near better than us.
Yes.
But we play a whole season where we only have to play them 5 times.
Yeah.
So if we win 3 out of the 5, it's we're right there with them. We're damn near better than them. Yep. But when it came down to you guys had to play 7 games now, it's nah, LeBron really was better than everybody else and clearly was carrying that team, and all the other guys were just making their shots when they needed to because LeBron was taking over the entire game. Where this season it's maybe Jokic is a guy who's gonna take over and hopefully Detroit is real. But and then maybe the Knicks, maybe. I don't when I look at these other teams, I'm in a 7-game series, are OKC even really that worried about any matchup? They can guard LeBron. They can send 3 people because those 3 people don't have to worry about offense because Shea will just, I'll score 40. Slow, efficient, however we need it. Y'all spend all y'all energy doing that. I'll take care of all the scoring. Whereas other teams, it's no, we need you to make all your threes and guard the toughest guy on the other team. We need that from 3. You get they just need so much more from their other players where I'm looking at Shea go out there and just kind of control every game and just all right, Jalen, you're feeling it? I'm going to just toss it off to you. I have Chet to play defense. I have Isaiah Hardenstein to play defense. I have Caruso. I have Jalen, the other Jalen Williams. All those other, they're all 6'8", 6'9", and above, ready to play D, ready to just get up and down the court. I feel they have so many 3 and D guys or just straight, just hoopers on their team that all know their role very well. Whereas these other teams, I feel 3 or 4 guys are really relied on, and then the other guys they can't really keep up. So that's the only difference I see where I'm these guys really could do it with the way this NBA season is and how these teams are constructed.
Yeah, overall they have a 17-point differential right now, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. I do think Houston would be a problem for them.
Sure.
I think that the way they match up, they, in my opinion, have probably as much perimeter youth athleticism to throw out there that are actually legit stars. I believe that what's interesting about Houston is they're almost constructed, in my opinion, literally to take on the Thunder.
For sure.
Where you look at all the players that make Houston good, and when they match up against OKC, there's a perfect matchup for them waiting on the other end of what in a perfect world could end up playing out. I also think that the one threat to the Thunder, to me, is always a team like the Lakers or the Spurs if they get De'Aaron and Wemby really going. Where these teams that have 2 stars and one like superstar who could just do what Luka did with the Mavericks not long ago, where it's like him and Kyrie are just putting up 50 a game, you know, and it's just like you're gonna have to match 130 at a minimum because the rest of the team is gonna put up 30, right? And those are the only teams that I could see, because if you're gonna come at them with flat out depth, right, or you're gonna come at them with like these other 1-star setups with like these sub-stars, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? Even the Nuggets, right? Like these sub-star. I think that is something that's going to bite you in the ass. But when you look at like the Houstons and the Lakers and the Spurs, I believe there's enough star power on those teams to where you got to show up and you got to really play a good game. And I think that could get the Thunder in the long run. Like, I think they're really good, but I think a lot of teams give up. And I think when we've seen them get in close games, they've dug deep, right, and still got the majority of them done. But I just wonder in the long run, you know, is that going to be sustainable? I worry about them, truthfully, in a 7-game series more than I do in these straight shot runs, right? Because they're a young team. They got a lot of energy. This is fun, night in, night out. But we saw even last year, they didn't run through the playoffs, right? And they, to me, were clearly the best team on paper. But I just believe that, like you said, they rely a lot on Shea, which is amazing. But I also believe that when you figure that out, which is extremely hard, but when you do in a 7-game series, things can get a little dicey.
I know he's coming off injury, but I feel like that's where Jalen Williams comes into play, where it's I think he's very much okay with like, I'll beat James Harden now. Like, I got you. Don't worry about this. But any night that you want it, bro, it's all you. I don't think he's like I think he's as consistent as can be. I don't think he's like up and down with it. So if Shea ever does go down, I always do feel like he's somebody who does have enough skill and talent to push himself to be like, all right, now it's my turn with the whole stars, like everybody. I would say he's the number 2 guy.
Oh, he definitely is. He definitely is. I just worry, honestly. I mean, that's a good point that you bring up, because for me, I kind of feel the exact opposite about both him and Chet. Not in the sense of them being like,
I think Chet's
stars.
Like just you're just a dude.
Yeah, I mean, for me, well, Chet like fits that team perfectly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, he's not.
But like Jalen to me is very consistent. He gives me a little bit of the other Jalen vibes, Jalen Brown, where it's like very consistent. Definitely, I believe, is capable of giving you dub. I just don't know if he's capable of giving you those 45s that you need out of a superstar in those moments that are going to be really like, dude, you're taking on the other best guy.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, he is, until proven otherwise, I truly feel like he is benefiting a ton from being a Robin. And he's giving Jamal Murray, in a sense, in terms of like, it's probably one of the easier dubs to get. In terms of like how much the other perimeter guy or how much your wingman is taking attention, you know? But I still do think he's uber talented. I just feel like if you take Shea out and you're left attacking one of these teams that we mentioned, Nuggets, Rockets, not so much the Nuggets, but Rockets, Lakers, Spurs, and you're left attacking them with Chet and Jalen as like, we're going to need to get 120 points or something. You know, to me, that's where it just starts getting I just will want to see more of it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they're not capable, but like even Chet, for me to really feel great about the Thunder, I got to see Chet have a 40-point game, bro. Like I don't
even know if he's capable of that.
But I think he could, right? And so it's like, maybe not 40, right? But like, let me see you give him a couple 30s that really matter, where we can be like, all right, bro, we're not expecting that out of you, but people can't just sit there and go, he's not capable.
Right.
You're a freaking 2nd overall pick, right? So anyway, that's my worry, because a lot of these other teams, they do have guys where you're not going to go, bro, have we ever seen you average over 16? You know, and, you know, again, I think that Jalen will ascend. But to me, is he good enough to really take the reins or, like, be a guy in those times when, like, I think it'll look a lot like Jamal Murray, where, like, people have been very confused of, like, yeah, Jamal has times where Jokic goes bad and he puts up a quick 38 or 40, but then, like, why aren't they good enough constantly?
Well, because I think the team isn't like, I mean, I think that's how good Jokic is for that team. I don't think Jamal Murray is anything without Jokic. Like, I don't think he's somebody who makes your team that much better. I think he, just like you're saying, guys who benefit from somebody else. I think that team to me is Jokic and then everybody else. Like nobody else is really like that great on a team.
Mm-hmm.
Same for the OKC, but just the way that they play as a team, I think that for Jalen Williams, it still won't be like, yeah, I have to be Shea. I can be a Robin still and give you 25, 8, and 6, but Caruso will give me 15, and Isaiah Joe will throw in 12, and then just I feel like they all just chip in so well. It's like, oh, Hartenstein gave me 16 and 12 tonight, like, and Chet gave me 20 and 12 tonight. Like, I'm not saying he does that all the time, but it's just like I feel like within the flow of their team, they just all are able to flourish. So that if one person does go down, even if it is Shea, of course they'll be weaker, but it's like that much, in my opinion. Maybe Shea is that key to them, but
yeah, because that's where I differ. I think Shea is the most important player in the league when it comes to a team and their success, for sure. Like right now. And I think Jokic is a close second. But like to me, I'm not sure who Jalen Williams would be if he didn't go to the Thunder. And that to me is like a question that I slap on Murray. Where I don't know who you'd be if I watched you go to the Pelicans or something like that. You could be Jordan Poole. You know what I mean? I have no idea, right? And so, there's not a lot of guys that I would say I feel confident taking over for a team if I still have that sentiment attached to who they are as a player for me. So that's just where I'm at with them. But this season, again, they have ample opportunity to prove me and all the haters wrong in terms of their overall depth and their overall star power beyond Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So we'll move to the MLB to close out today's show. And as we all know,